Alright, hello everybody, what is happening? Welcome back to another video. This is the match preview of Real Madrid versus Villarreal, which will be taking place at the Santiago Bernabeu. Uh, we're doing good actually. I think we have 4 wins in our past 4 games there. Yes, they have been scrappy wins. They have been like 3-2 wins and 1-0 wins and things like that, but nonetheless, we have won there and we have been doing really good despite our poor performances earlier in the season. So let's get started in the press conference, what Zidane had to say about tomorrow's game, as well as the transfers. So let's get started with what he had to say here. So yeah, Casillas. He started off the press conference with a little message to Iker Casillas of, as they say in Spanish, animos. Hopefully that Iker Casillas is doing well. He's in the hospital recuperating. He had suffered a major heart attack, or major. He had suffered a heart attack earlier in the week, but now he's doing a little bit better. And there have been reports that Casillas might not play again, And I would say if I was Iker Casillas, I think I wouldn't play again because when you have that kind of problem, and he was very lucky actually because he found out and he still survived. Some players, they get the heart attack but they die. You saw this with the case of, I think it was Abdelek Nouri from Ajax a couple years ago where he kind of had that. I don't know if it was the same thing, however. I don't think it was a heart attack. But, these things do happen in the sport. And Iker Casillas was lucky, and hopefully, obviously it'll go better. But, I mean, for me, I just hope that he retires at the end of the season because I don't want to see him getting another one. If you do put yourself at risk, then it could definitely happen. But anywho, let's get started in tomorrow's game. Let's see what Zidane had to say about tomorrow's game. So, first important question, I should say. There was a question about, let's say, it's almost better to end the season now. Would you like to end this agony to end today? That was one of the questions for the press conference. And obviously Zidane said, well, it's not possible. We still have 3 games to go. Of course, the other day I was frustrated. The players were frustrated too. But sometimes things just don't go our way. The players want to play football, and we'll try to do that tomorrow. In any case, this year, we can't try to make people think that there's something because the year is over, but the players do have to think of next season. There will be changes, but a lot of players will stay. The audience will be the same, and a lot of players will stay. And what we will ask the fans tomorrow is for their support. So obviously, a couple of things to be gleaned from this statement, with the first being that there is going to be changes next year, but there might not be as many as people think. Now, I've seen a lot of media outlets just saying this Madrid teams need a full rebuild and stuff like that. No need for a full rebuild at Real Madrid. We have a very good, solid foundation. We do have players who are hungry. We have players who have won it all. And a mix of those two will consolidate our chances of winning for next season. So yeah, he's just saying that there is going to be a lot of players that are going to stay, and he's also asking for the afición to support their players because ultimately that's what's gonna propel our players to do better rather than booing them all the time. If we boo them all the time, our players' confidence will diminish. It won't go good for the audience, and it won't go good for the players. So what we have to do is support our players through tumultuous times. But let's see. I think that's all really I have to say about that statement. Now there was a question about Paul Pogba too, and there was obviously I think. Zinedine Zidane obviously eulogized Paul Pogba like in the middle of the season. And he pretty much said, I'm not getting into that. When things go well, we can forgive you. But if you're going to start with your silly stuff during the bad times, he said, Chaka Chav. I don't know what that means, but if you guys know what that means, let me know in the comment section below because really, Chaka Chav doesn't say much, but I think we know what he means with that. He said, I won't say anything. However, if you ask me about Paul Pogba, he's a Manchester United player and a very good player, undoubtedly. But at the end of the season, we'll have to see what happens. And but I never said anything about bringing Paul Pogba to Real Madrid. So obviously, just kind of being firm in his statements and obviously trying to downplay all this Paul Pogba talk because there is a lot of it. I think that's only normal. Obviously, the press, when it's the press are like lions and the words that come out of Zidane's mouth is like the meat, and sometimes you get some good meat, sometimes you get some bad meat. When you get some good meat, you make the most out of it. You make a good meal, you try to put some salt, you put some pepper, put some seasoning on that meat, you put everything on that meat, and sometimes, you know what, that meat is just bad. You left it in the fridge for too long, and just goes bad. So that is something that I have to say about this. So Paul Pogba, could be coming, and like I said before, 60 to 70% chance that he will be coming to Real Madrid, and I am staying firm on that. There is a big chance of him coming to Real Madrid, but it is difficult. There are a few factors that make this transfer difficult, but it definitely is a possibility. Now, another question that was asked is, this upcoming season, how important will it be to have a calm summer? Without the World Cup, without anything like that. Yes, we'll have the Copa America, but without any of the big events, how important will it be to count on the transfer being done before the preseason? So basically, he said, I don't know if it would be possible. Things get done with tranquility, but we will have time. No tournaments, and it's true that we will have to play Copa America, or some players will have to play Copa America, but we will have time to be ready for the upcoming season. We have until 31st of August, so there's a lot of time. So basically, what we can glean from this statement is that there is time for these transfers to happen. So basically, it's possible that we might not have every player that we want before preseason. They might just come during preseason, and you know what? They might just come towards the end of preseason. So I think in Gareth Bale's case, it took a long time before that transfer happened. And so you can just see that some transfers will take a while to happen. So we can't always expect that transfers will get done before preseason, but rather we have to wait until 31st of August to see what's going to happen at Real Madrid. So let's see. There was another question about Vinicius. Does he convince you? Is he good? And he said, well, I mean, there's really nothing that impresses me. And he's not saying it in a bad way with a negative connotation, but rather he's saying it in a good way. He said he is good. He deserves to be here, and we'll see what happens next year. He said that he's good. He deserves to be here. Obviously, there's nothing that really impresses me. He's training good. He's training with the team. He needed 2 weeks off, and as a result, now he's ready for the first team. So that's pretty much all he said about that. And of course, the last question here, this time's going by quickly. Trying to get all the stuff in as quickly as possible, but it can be very tough. So let's see. Last question here. After the game versus Atletico Madrid, Benzema said that if the afición boos a player, then it's because we expect more from the player. Does the Real Madrid coach expect more from Bale? That's the last question. Now, Zidane, what do you have to say? I expect the most from every player to extract their potential. We train all week for that, and at the weekend, I expect the players to perform. To kind of prove what they did throughout the week. Help them for the weekend. But anywho, let's get started in the pre-match preview. All right, so injuries, we have Ramos, Benzema, Odriozola, and there was one report that said Keylor Navas is a doubt. I don't know if that's true or not, but in any case, I don't think Keylor Navas will play tomorrow. I think it'll be Courtois or it'll be Luka. And like I said before, the season's over. I see a lot of things on YouTube and things like that. I see a lot, you have Roncero just going he's not going crazy, but he's not happy with the results. It's not good enough. I see a lot of Real Madrid fans just saying it's not good enough. Look, at the end of the day, I really don't care. The season's over, and that's just how it is. Come on. I mean, why do we have to care? I mean, oh, yeah, we're going to win these next 2 games, and it's going to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to have a trophy to win. I mean, look, the season's over. I don't care if we lose these next 2 games. I really don't care. I mean, I know that, yes, we do have the crest to play for and things like that, but at the end of the day, look, 2 games that we win, what's the point of it? What's the point? I'd rather look towards next season. So, yeah, the season's over. We've accumulated 65 points so far, which is our worst one since 2001 and 2002. Obviously, it's not a very good season for us. It's been a disaster, but you know what? Julian Lopetegui, it was never going to work out under him. And then Mr. Solari, just awful coach. I never really liked him. His press conferences, I'd have a better time sleeping than listening to them. It was awful, and his coaching methods were, just all over the place. But anywho, Villarreal, I'm going to get into Villarreal now. Villarreal are currently at 14th place. They have had a disastrous season by their standards. Usually what where Villarreal tend to be is in the Europa League spot, and sometimes even competing for that 4th place Champions League spot. Now, surprisingly, this season, it's been Getafe. Getafe have been in there, and it's just surprising what Getafe have done, really, because like I've said before, they got relegated like a couple years ago, and now they're actually in fourth place, competing for a Champions League spot. It's just unbelievable. But anywho, Villarreal, yeah, currently at 14th place. They haven't had a good season. They got 9 wins, 13 draws, and 13 losses. Horrible, horrible season for them with 40 points. Um, Last game we played them, it was 2-2. Santi Cazorla got the brace. Chukwueze caused us a load of problems. Chukwueze was just all over the place, man. I mean, causing, he's turning Sergio Ramos in and out. It's horrible. I mean, this guy's he's a very good player, and he's definitely going to cause us problems tomorrow. And I don't think he's injured. Um, let's see. Yeah, Yellow Submarines, as they call them, they were held to a 1-1 draw at home in their last game versus Huesca. Which, as you guys know, Huesca is in 20th place, but they're unbeaten in their 3 matches in their away fixtures. So, just some information there. Next, you have a couple injuries for Villarreal. You have Ekambi, who's injured, who has he's not injured, he's suspended. Ekambi is suspended, which to be honest, I think he came on last time in the 70th minute or something like that. He did cause us a few problems, so maybe a good thing that he's injured. Caceres, who's a midfielder, he's suspended also. I don't know who he is. And you got defender Daniel Bonera, who is also a doubt. So there you have it. The match preview. Match preview of Real Madrid versus Villarreal. My match prediction is gonna be, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a draw or a loss. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like 2-2 or 3-2. 2-2, obviously being the draw, and then 3-2 Villarreal winning the game. Going to be something along those lines. I don't think we're going to do that good. And now since I've gone past the time that I wanted, I'm not going to do a starting lineup. Like Zidane's experimenting with the squad. I never know what it's going to be, but he's definitely going to put a strong squad out there. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.